Hello, everybody. I'm just texting somebody. Won't be long. Okay. Just catching up. Crazy, isn't it? Life. Just been doing a locum today, so quite busy. Just going to send that also to there. I want to record it as well. Okay, so it's going to be recording as well. One more person to send to. Okay. Right, that'll do. Hi there, I'm Dr. Allie. So I'm delighted that you're joining me today for our talk. I'm just going to explain to you, I'm going to share with you something that has magically entered my life and that of many other thousands of people, and is bringing hope to many, many people across the globe in 87 countries, hope for better health, which some of them have never dreamed of, hope for better longevity and better quality life into the future, and also financial hope. So I'm going to share that with you today. So I'm just going to share my screen. And share the screen. There we go. And we are live. Great. So hi there. And so we're talking about Lifewave patches today, and these phototherapy patches, you'll find a little bit about how they work in this talk. You'll find out a little bit about the promise that they hold for us and how you can get your hands on them. And I'd love you to join us in this movement. We're creating a movement. If you're fed up with being on so many medications, if you're fed up with suffering symptoms that medicine and medications are not touching, if you know that the pharmaceutical approach isn't right for you, then we've got some answers for you. And I'd love to share that with you. So I'm Dr. Allie. I'm a medical doctor. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm a functional medicine doctor. I knew from an early stage that medicine, that health wasn't just about pharmaceuticals. So because I broke my back just before I started medical school, and so I had to bring in a whole holistic approach in order to be able to thrive or survive actually through medical school. So have you been patched yet? Have you tried one of these little patches yet? We have a number of different varieties, but they are basically small Band-Aid type patches, just the size of a Band-Aid, round plaster, sticky plaster, and they go on the body. We'll show you. So they look like that on the shoulder of that lady. And what they do is they elevate, they activate, and they regenerate. They really help us. So let's have a look about what they are and what this is about. What is the world talking about when they're talking about stem cell activation patches? So you may have heard a bit about stem cell treatment, stem cell therapy, stem cell injections. You may have heard something about peptide therapy and peptide injections, both of which are very expensive modalities that are new into the world, that are really taking the health world by storm in areas where you are paying for it, because any state-run health system is not going to be able to afford that except in very rare circumstances. So what can this do for us? These are affordable stem cell reactivation technology in a single patch. They activate your copper peptides, GHKCU, and that in turn reactivates your own stem cells. So I'm just going to play a little video for you.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. Lifewave's phototherapy patches use light to stimulate the body's natural healing systems, providing specific health benefits. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared light emitted from the body is reflected back into the tissue. This stimulates the skin, which in turn stimulates specific regions of the brain. The brain then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy and the ability to heal itself. Let's take a look at why this is important on a cellular level. For example, a number of our patch products help counteract free radicals, oxygen molecules that damage cell proteins and contribute to visible signs of aging. When the body is stimulated through phototherapy to release its own antioxidants, these free radicals are neutralized naturally.
Cool, eh? So it's helpful to have a video. It really does help to understand. And Lifewave is a well-established company. It was established in 2004 and it's open in 87 countries and counting, and it has over 180 patents. So there is no competition. And it grew massively from 2020 to 2022, 23, 24, and June 2024 was yet again the best month that Lifewave has had in sales. So it's in a growth area, and it's projected to do $1 billion in 2025. This is David Schmidt, who's the inventor of X39, and he specializes in age reversal. And this is a segment from one of the patents that he holds, which is about as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activating stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, and improved wound healing. So it's really interesting that there is this much put actually into the patent. And we know that the number one indicator of wellness is directly correlated to the number of adult stem cells in the bloodstream. Stem cells are cells that potentially can develop into any kind of cell needed. So when you injure yourself, that area is flooded with stem cells to start doing the repair work, and they can become any cell in the body. And while our need for adult stem cells increases as we age, we actually have fewer available for that. And the faster we age, the slower we heal. So by the age of 80, the number has dropped from 1 billion active adult stem cells down to 50 million. So there's a 95% reduction over time. And even when we're 30, we've had a big reduction in the number of stem cells available to us compared to when we were a teenager. So here is X39. It's this little patch you can see at the bottom corner, just there. And it's made of organic nanocrystals, which are patented, so special nanocrystals. They are organic, which means, for those of you who are chemists, you know that means they're made of hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen. And they're formulated to activate your copper peptide. They are formulated to deflect that energy back into the body at exactly the wavelength, in this case, to activate copper peptide. So there's several different types of patch, and each one activates a different peptide. And then with the copper peptide, that activates our own stem cells. It's non-invasive, it's non-transdermal, and the adhesive is medical grade. So yes, some people have reactions to it as some people will have to anything. And we do have ways around that. You can actually stick them inside your clothes rather than on your skin if you do find you have a reaction. Most people, if they do have a reaction, it settles, and it's a very rare thing. So let's talk about what stem cells do when you activate them. First of all, we get rapid pain relief. And every body is individual. Every human being has had a different history. You've had different things happen to you. You're a different age. So we can't predict how the stem cell activation patches are going to impact you personally. But we do see rapid pain relief in some cases within minutes, in some cases within weeks, in some cases within months. So it does vary. But we find that we get an improvement in pain in the sort of pains that I know as a doctor we're not touching with the medical establishment approach. And so people who have pain that's resistant to gabapentin, to opioids, to CBD oil, we're still finding that they respond to these patches, which is amazing. It's just such a gem to be able to have this to share with people. And we have other patches that improve pain as well in different ways. So we've seen people with trigeminal neuralgia, for example, have a big reduction in their trigeminal neuralgia pain, which you may know is very intractable, very difficult to touch, and it's considered a suicide disease in many cases because the pain is so severe that people want to they bang their head against the wall because the pain is so severe. And a complete improvement in 7 months. So some people have had trigeminal neuralgia improve much more quickly than that, but with Inga, she was having severe pain. She'd had a trigeminal neuralgia for 45 years. Trigeminal neuralgia, for those that don't know, is due to, it's often we don't know what it's caused, but it's activation of the trigeminal nerve, which is in the side of the face, and it causes pain, shooting pain, really severe shooting pain around the face. And by the time she started Lifewave, Ingi was she was getting episodes several times a day. And now, after 7 months on the patches, it's more now, but after 7 months on the X39 patch, she's not getting any pain at all. We get reduced inflammation. So inflammation is what happens when you have pain or when you have an injury. Initially, inflammation helps with the healing activation. So when you have a sprain, it's a good idea not to take your ibuprofen immediately. But inflammation is when we get a flood of white blood cells coming to an area that needs some repair or some sorting out. And so that's where we get, so if you have the disease that ends in itis, there's inflammation going on. So arthritis, cholecystitis, which is gallbladder inflammation. Mine's gone blank. Classic, isn't it? But anything that you can think of that ends in itis, peritonitis, there's inflammation going on. And we find that this really helps. Now, we're not making any medical claims. We're not claiming that these will help a particular disease state. What we're doing with the patches is we're empowering the body to heal itself. So we are improving the body's own ability to heal itself. Okay. Okay. Right. So supports wound healing, and we've got some pictures later on that demonstrate that. We get improved energy and vitality. So a lot of us find that we've got more energy than we did before. Certainly I got some improvement with my top quality nutritional supplements, but adding in the patches has helped even more. Mental clarity. So if you're experiencing brain fog, despite all the other things you're doing in your life to help your health, so you may be exercising, you may be managing your sleep and your stress, you may be supplementing and eating a perfect diet. If you've still got brain fog, then there's something that needs to be improved still. And we find that the patches really help with mental clarity. We also find it enhances sports performance. You get faster recovery from exercise, and you get an improved skin appearance. And for me, that improved skin appearance is a reflection of what's going on inside the body. So how to wear X39? What you're doing is you want to wear the power patch up to 12 hours and take it off so it's off for at least 12 hours. That allows time to repair and rejuvenate, and it stops any acclimatization whereby your receptors aren't responding to the patch anymore. And then you throw away the patch. Then you put a new patch on and repeat. Now, some of us who have pets, we put our spare patches after we've taken them off. We put them on our dogs, cats, plants, bearded dragons, anybody, horses. So we know that this benefits living things. There's about 16 hours use in each patch. So you can, and a lot of us have found improvements in our dogs from that. So you can wear more than one patch at a time and drink plenty of water. That's really important because the cells have a high proportion of water in them. They cannot work properly without. And in order for the electrical effects of the patch to work, we need to be well hydrated and good quality waters, and not just tap water if you can manage filtered or other pure water. And the two places that are in the studies are the nape of the neck there and just below the tummy button. Those are acupuncture points that are used in the clinical trials. You can put them anywhere. So if you do have a sense that you want to put it somewhere else, by all means do. But these are the recommended places, and it just makes it easier to not have to think about where you're putting it every day. I actually use a dowsing pendulum sometimes to decide where I'm putting my patches that particular day. So here are some of the long-term results that we experience, and this is from 80 case studies that have been looked at with X39. In the first few days, we find that 4,000 genes begin to reset. How do we know that? That's actually in a clinical study looking at the GHKCU impact. So we know that increasing GHKCU will start to reset these genes. Within 6 weeks, we find that the brain becomes balanced. We get less symptoms of anxiety, less stress, less nervousness, and even some people with some of these issues find they have reduced symptoms. But we're not claiming that it reduces these symptoms. It's helping the body to reduce these symptoms. It's helping you to reduce them. Then within 3 months, we see an increase in collagen, which has the effect of decreasing wrinkles. We get an increase in hair growth, which is quite marked. And we get increased structural integrity of your skeleton and muscular systems. And then within 6 months, we start a reversal in cardiovascular age. So a recent study, 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years after just 6 months of using X39, which is incredible. You know, now we have modern technology by which we can look at cardiovascular age, so such as the CT calcium score. It's incredible to be able to do this. So David Schmidt said it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. So we have a 90-day protocol. We recommend that you use the patches for a minimum of 90 days for optimal results. And in actual fact, you will find that if you carry on using it after 90 days, you get ongoing further improvements. So we recommend actually a month for every decade of life. So if you're 70, we recommend you trial them for at least 7 months before really seeing. You'll find that you'll see further improvements over that time. But 97% of people experience an improvement in their symptoms or in the way they're feeling. They will experience tangible effects after 90 days of using the X39 patch. And this is it, info.com. This is an excellent website. I recommend you bookmark this to look at later. It gives you a lot of information specifically about the X39 patch. And it allows you to delve in as deeply or as lightly as you want to. And then when you've had a look at that, when you've had a look at the end of this talk, if you want to get started either as a customer or as a brand partner like myself, then contact the person who invited you to this talk or contact me. All right. So X39 David considers it his greatest achievement because it works quickly. It provides so many benefits. It seems like a miracle because we're seeing benefits in a wide variety of situations, which is just quite incredible. And it's the magic of applying stem cells to the human body, applying the magic of stem cells and improving them in the human body. So here's one example from one of the studies in the back office. This is looking at the way that the patch impacts the body. And in this case, it's a 77-year-old woman, and she had a lot of inflammation in her body at the start of the study. Without any X39, there was a lot of inflammation in the brain represented by the red color on this brain scan, very little stem cell activity, and a lack of brain coherence. So they were looking at several different parameters. This is just a visual illustration of the one level, the inflammation in the brain. Okay. In session 2, you can see that there, after 3 weeks on X39, there was virtually no inflammation in the brain. There's no redness there now. And they also found there was improved brain coherence and more stem cell activity. And then at session 3 at 6 weeks, after 6 weeks on X39, there's a complete turnaround. Again, there's no inflammation in the body. There's no redness there. There's improved stem cell activity and better brain coherence measured separately. And we can also see quite rapid results. Here we see what happens within 30 minutes. So here you can see represented by the red areas, there's a lot of inflammation in this person's shoulders and in their abdomen or back. Don't know which way around this is, but you can see, yeah, I think that's the abdomen. That's the abdomen, rectus abdominis. And you can see after 30 minutes, there's already a vast improvement in the inflammation going on there. Here you've got somebody with inflammation in her hands. And after just carrying a patch of X39 for 30 minutes, you can see this reduction in the redness. Here it's showing in that hypothenar eminence, so at the base of the thumbs there, a very common place for osteoarthritis, for example, to start. And she's already got measurable reductions in inflammation there. And we also see it in horses, so it's not just a placebo effect. Here we've got a horse before and after. I think this is 6 months of using the patches, and this actual study preceded the X39. So I think this is the energy enhancer or the ice wave, so one of the other patch types. But you can see over time they've got reduced inflammation in the shoulder joint there. Here, the white, purple, and pink are actually even more inflamed than the red. So it's a matter of degree. And I'd just like to share with you this video, which is quite incredible. You see this dachshund, paralyzed back legs. Bless him. How many dogs in this situation get put down? 4 days on X39. Same dog. Amazing. So we do see these sorts of effects with people. Now let's look at some visual examples of what's going on, what we're seeing. So here we have, so this lady top left, you can see how greatly it's improved. You can see that the wrinkles around her eyes and around her mouth on day 1, they've reduced by day 42, and at day 355, they're just not visible. She's just got much more clear skin, much more light in her eyes. Here we've got reduction in the wrinkles on the cheeks and around the eyes over 45 days of X39. And this lady, after a year of X39, you can see how her eyes have got more light to them. The skin is purer and has more light to it. There's fewer age spots, fewer wrinkles around the mouth there and the nose. Really incredible. And this lady, just 9 weeks on X39, you can see there's a reduction in the age spots, age patches on her skin there. She's looking so much younger after 9 weeks. And this lady, after 5 months, day 1, day 30, and then 5 months of the X39 patch. And here we have some examples of situations, and again, we're not making medical claims. It's not that the X39 patch has had this effect. The X39 patch has enabled the body to have this effect. So we're activating stem cells, which can then heal an area that hasn't been able to be healed before. And if you've got any medical experience, you will know that vitiligo is something that we don't consider it can be improved. If somebody has vitiligo in the medical establishment approach, like my National Health Service, we just say you'll need to use camouflage creams. That's all we can do. Whereas in functional medicine, we know there are things that we can do about autoimmune disorders like vitiligo, but it's a long and hard journey making any improvements with no guarantees. No guarantees here either, but look at the way this gentleman had an improvement in his patches of white, which are due to the vitiligo, depigmentation of the skin and autoimmune disorder. And look how his forehead has improved. He's also got fewer wrinkles. This is 3 months of X39. This lady with Bell's palsy, she had her face paralyzed by Bell's palsy for 18 months. She had to wear the eye patch because with Bell's palsy, you can't close your eye. And so she couldn't protect the cornea. So she had to wear an eye patch to protect the cornea. Now, after 3 months of X39, she has just recovered. It's just magical. And here we have psoriasis. This is quite a severe thickening of the skin. Again, it's an autoimmune disorder, which means the body's attacking itself. And treatment involves creams, and you're not expecting any fast results. But here, even after 12 hours of X39, there's an improvement, 36 hours and 10 days. This is quite incredible, considering this is a non-transdermal patch. And here we've got wound healing. Someone's had an operation on their wrist, maybe a carpal tunnel release or something like that. I think that would extend into the hand. But they've had an operation on the tendons of their arm. And you can see after just 12 days, there's an improvement, a massive improvement, more than you would expect just naturally from wound healing. Here we have 21 days, over 21 days, an improvement in a wound on this person's cheek. This gentleman looks like he's had a fall or something. He's got patches here, here, and here. So he's really using a lot of patches to try and bring about improvement. And over 7 weeks, he's got a big improvement in the skin. You really can't see where the lacerations and bruising were. And this little boy shut his finger in the door of the car, and the tip actually came off. So his parents took it to the A&E with them, the ER, and insisted that the surgeons sew it back on. They didn't want to because they said there's no hope. And initially, indeed, it looked like there was gangrene. It looked like this wasn't going to work. But over time, look at this improvement. So there's already blood supply there, and 21 days later, his finger's as good as new. Now, we know that with these young people, we know that they've got more stem cells to start with, so there's more potential for healing naturally, but still, we wouldn't expect this degree of healing in this shorter time. And then look at hair loss. So hair loss is something that bothers a lot of people. Men a lot, although they may not talk about it, and women, if women have hair loss, they really feel quite devastated by it. And here you can see the impact of the X39 on hair. Not only that, but we also find that the hair gets its color back. So we end up back with some pigmented hair where it may have gone gray before. And here we've got, this is a very marked alopecia here. There's a lot of improvement. And then athletes use patches as well. We've got Michael Phelps here. He's using the energy enhancer. Serena Williams is using the energy enhancer, and same with David Beckham. And Lorenzo Savadori is using X39 over his pituitary to help his focus during his superbike events. So I'm just going to play a short video from David Schmidt here.
When I started Lifewave and was doing an evaluation of how to market this, I was thinking about radio and TV. I approached GNC, who wanted to market the product, looked at infomercials and talked to companies about doing that. We did some testing. And I had an experience where a fellow that was a business friend introduced me to somebody. We had a business lunch, and then he ran into somebody in a movie theater who was interested in investing in Lifewave. I met with that guy, and then he introduced me to a medical doctor who introduced me to another medical doctor who was friends with Coach Richard Quick at Stanford University. So in about a 3-week period of time, I went from sitting at a lunch in Buford to being out at Stanford University putting patches on Olympic swimmers with Richard Quick, a 6-time U.S. Olympic coach. And when I really thought about that, I said, this would never have happened with the product sitting on the shelf at GNC. Would never happen. Yeah. This is all networking. I need to go back and reevaluate this. And so in July of 2004, I flew out to California. I was invited there by Coach Quick to see the Olympic trials. And when I landed, he said, well, we have an issue. The Olympic Committee thinks that there's drugs in these patches, and they want you to, explain what the technology is. So I met with this fellow, Dr. Scott Rodeo, explained what the patches were. They took them down to UCLA Microanalytical Lab, validated, there were only natural materials in the patches, and we were vindicated. But over 1,000 people contacted me wanting to buy the product and be a distributor for this new technology. And I was like, okay, the alarm bells went off. Clearly, what God is telling me, this is supposed to be a network marketing company. And 3 months later, on November 10th of 2004, we started sales. We did $500,000 in business our very first month, and 17 million in sales for 2005. So it was a very, very clear sign this was where our home was supposed to be.
And I'd just like to mention some other testimonials, really. My husband experienced, he had been having some hand pain for 3 years. And on the third day of using the X39 patch, that hand pain disappeared. And it only comes back if he forgets for 3 days in a row, which he doesn't. So that's hand pain. We've seen improvements in so many things, but we're going to come to those later. I've just remembered. So this is the X39 patch. It's the foundation patch, and I recommend everybody trial this for at least 90 days. This is the one that is, because it's improving, activating our stem cells, it causes improvements throughout the body. The others are helpful as well, but the X39 is enough. So if you can only afford one pack of patches, I recommend this one. Then we have some supportive products. Here's the X49. This improves muscle mass and bone density and heart health. And actually, in conjunction with X39, it helps to protect you from the EMFs from laptops and phones, etc. Then we have the Lifewave, which is a pain reduction patch. It has no side effects, unlike painkillers. And you just put the 2 patches, that you're using 2 patches at a time with the X39. With the Lifewave, whereas you're only using 1 with the X39. The glutathione is an immune booster. It's an antioxidant. It's very supportive of the liver. So it supports the liver in its detoxification, and it increases glutathione levels by 300%. The carnosine improves brain function, memory, and focus, but it also lengthens telomeres. So we see it helps with memory if someone's having some age-related cognitive decline, for example. But we also have seen in the studies that it lengthens telomeres, which is related to aging. Then in the Eon, this is an anti-inflammatory patch. Again, non-transdermal. None of these actually have any drugs going from the patch into the body. All they're doing is activating peptides within your body to then have an effect. So with Eon, the effect of that peptide activation is a reduction in stress and inflammation. So inflammation contributes to stress and depression, and we do find that helps with mood as well. But the Eon is great for reducing inflammation in the body generally. So if you've got if you are somebody who has a lot of inflammation, a lot of things going on, it's a good idea to use the Eon for a few days before adding in the X39. Then the silent nights, this increases melatonin and improves the quality of sleep. It regulates sleep. In a study of people with insomnia, it increased their sleep duration by an average of 66%, which is amazing. And it's increasing your natural melatonin. So unlike having exogenous melatonin that's been sourced from somewhere else, if you're taking it as a supplement, here we're activating our own melatonin. And then we've got the energy enhancer, which increases energy and fat burning and endurance. So this is the one that is favored by the sports people, although many of them use many of these patches. Then we have the SP6 Complete, and it's marketed to reduce cravings, to help with weight and appetite, but it actually aids hormones and digestion. So it helps to rebalance any hormone systems, including thyroid systems, including adrenal systems. So if you are feeling a little bit burnt out, this can be very helpful. But if you want to lose weight, this is also very helpful. Then the Aloe Vera, which reduces wrinkles and builds collagen, and it helps you to have vibrant skin. And then we have the AccuLife, which is like the Lifewave, almost exactly the same as the Lifewave, but with stronger adhesive. You can use it for animals. And it reduces inflammation and pain. And again, there are 2. You use 2 at a time. So in the case of the Lifewave, the Energy Enhancer, and the AccuLife, you're using 2 patches at a time. So a sleeve of 30 patches lasts you 15 days. The others all last 30 days because you're using 1 patch at a time. So this is our testimonial group on Telegram. I recommend you take a photograph of this or a screenshot, or you use the QR code to access this, which is a public group that we have created with over 800 different areas of health that we have found the Lifewave patches to help. So you will see that here that we've got improvements in thyroid, we've got improvements in Crohn's disease. Remember, we're not making medical claims. These are not caused by the X39 patch. The healing is caused by the body once we've got activation of the stem cells. So we have here special needs, ADD, ADHD, we have kidneys, glaucoma, we have inflammation, Lyme disease, HIV, we've got improvements in hemochromatosis, we have improvements in nerve damage and neuropathic pain, weight loss, fibromyalgia, very, very common these days, cerebral palsy, depression, also very common these days, plantar fasciitis. We get improvements in Parkinson's disease. We've seen amazing cases of people who are who deteriorated so much from Parkinson's that they were hardly able to communicate, and they were just sitting in a chair all the time. And now, after the result of the impact of the patch on their stem cells and their bodies working with that, they're actually standing up, walking around, interacting, giving talks on Lifewave. Amazing. Brain injury, traumatic brain injury, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, neuropathic pain, again, autism, sinusitis, cystic fibrosis, Stevens-Johnson syndrome, which is a severe autoimmune disease, often goes hand in hand with others. We've even seen improvements in people who've had a stroke and been paralyzed down one side, even seen improvements in that. We have trigeminal neuralgia, stenosis of the spine, and that's just some of them. Okay, so it's really quite awe-inspiring what we're getting. So next question is, what are the prices? My question to you is, what are you comparing it to? It's not to be compared with some cheap supplements that don't work down at your local supermarket. It's compared to a stem cell injection. Okay, and I've had people in the UK who are paying $35,000 every 6 months for stem cell injections, and yet they can get the same results here. So we do find they're more effective. Very often you get the stem cell injections not working. We have examples of people who've tried that. So the retail price is $149.95 for the X39 and X49, and $79.95 for the others. And that is excluding tax and shipping and local taxes. So one sleeve contains 30 patches, 1 month supply in most cases. So the X39 and most of the others. The wholesale price, which the person who invited you to this talk can show you how to access, is $99.95. And the other patches, so it's the X39 and X49 that are the more expensive ones. All the other patches are $49.95 to $69.95, depending. So we also have enrollment kits. So this helps you get them at a discount. First of all, you can get the bronze pack if you really can't manage to stretch to the silver. I recommend at the very least to get the silver pack, because that gives you 3 sleeves of X39. And as I've said, everybody needs to trial the X39 for a 3-month period. Then there's the gold pack, which gives you more of an opportunity to look at the different patch types and try them out. So that's so you can mix and match either way. Where it says 5.5 sleeves, it automatically populates with 5 sleeves of X39 and 1 of Silent Night, but you can change that to whichever you want. And then there's the platinum, which gives you 12 sleeves of X39, a whole good variety, or the diamond, which gives you 19 sleeves. So these are great if you are serious about building the business, or if you have a clinic or healthcare premises where you want to be able to retail the patches. I recommend everybody aim to build up to diamond. And what you can do is you can start with silver and then build up gradually to gold. And if you're on silver, that's not what you're having to pay every month. I often get asked this question. This is just your starter pack. This isn't what you have to pay every month. And in fact, you don't have to pay anything every month. It's just it snowballs your earning capacity if you do. But we'll come to that. You'll learn about that if you decide to join us as a brand partner. So I actually recommend most of my customers join me as a silver brand partner, because And I asked them, just think for a moment, if you did try out the X39 patch, and you found it really effective, and you found it had great effects on your body, and you felt like you wanted to share it, would you want to? And if there's any chance that you're going to want to share this with other people, and especially if you want to create a side income from it, then we recommend you start with silver and then build up to diamond. There are advantages with diamond. You get your X39 patches for only $84 with that pack. And every time you upgrade your kit, you're only paying the difference and getting the difference in sleeves. So it's very affordable. So we have exponential growth, as we've talked about. And this is an amazing opportunity to bring the healing power of light to everyone around you. You are here at the right place, the right time with the right product. And you can choose to be a wholesale customer or a business builder. That's absolutely fine. So I'd like you to think and reflect for a moment. What is most important in your life right now? Is it your family? Are you thinking that you need some more time freedom? Do you want security? Do you want to be able to travel more? Are you looking for better health now and in the future? Or do you want less debt? For me, it's all of these. So I'd like you to reflect for the moment. There are 4 different ways to earn. Do think to yourself which of those things on the previous slide are important to you. You can earn through retail profits, through a product introduction bonus, and through binary commissions and matching bonus. So I know I'm flying through that, but I know people are very short on time. And just suffice it to say that you can make the product introduction bonus even if you are not having a regular auto order. For those who are experienced with direct sales and understand the way these businesses work, it's really powerful that we have such a powerful product introduction bonus, and you don't need to be on auto order to make that. So retail profits, you can purchase at wholesale and sell at retail. So you can purchase at $99.95, but you can also get the diamond pack and buy them at $89 or $84. So you've got a lot of profit potentially to be made there if you want to retail them from your premises. Product introduction bonus is really great. So when you enroll a new member at each of these levels, you get paid that amount. So if you enroll a gold person into your business, you'll get $100 into your own business from that. So very well worth it. And it's worth upgrading to diamond when you can, because you get additional bonuses for 90 days after that. So, and just to explain, if you are diamond, then you get paid $300 for every platinum and $500 for every diamond you bring in for that first 90 days you're at the diamond level. So we have the binary system where we're paid at unlimited depth. You can earn up to $25,000 a week on team commissions alone. So that's in addition to your product introduction bonus. And then we get matching bonuses where you can get additional payments. So there's a really good video. There are several really good videos explaining the basics of the compensation plan, and you don't need to worry about that until and unless you decide to join us. But I'd like you to reflect for a moment. Richard Branson said, if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, say yes and then learn how to do it later. And we're here. One of the things about direct sales is that you always have a team around you helping you every step of the way. We have regular trainings, regular support, and I'd like you to consider joining us. So we have weekly Zoom calls. These are just some of them. These are the ones in South African time, the Tuesday ones in Afrikaans, but I do one, as you can hear, in English on a Tuesday. I do also additional trainings like on science on a Monday and additional things on Wednesdays. And I have other trainings for my team. And the This Is It team also has trainings. We have team training on Thursday and on Saturday. So I'd like you to reflect on whether, stop the share. There. So I'd like you to reflect on where you are now and where you want to be in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years. And just think for a moment from the money point of view. If you carry on doing what you're doing now, are you going to be where you want to be in 2 years, 5 years time? Or do you need to have a leg up? Do you need something additional? We all have multiple streams of expenditure, and I'd like you to reflect on that, because we do need to have multiple streams of income, as I do. And in terms of the actual health benefits of the patches, you've seen how powerful they are. And do go to that testimonial website to find out more. I'm Dr. Allie, and I happy to welcome you into our team and I look forward to speaking with you. So do get back to the person who invited you to this talk today, and look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.